Hi YouTube. I haven't done a video for a while now, quite a while, and I'm still active on some forums. I often comment on anyone asking a question on torches or flashlights or lithium batteries and chargers that obviously go with them. Now all this is sort of correct at this time, so we're just in September 17, and there's a couple exciting new lights coming out on one of the forums I'm on, particularly a torch or flashlight forum, which is the budget light forum. It's the BLF Q8, which is a Skyray King sort of clone, but it's made to specs that the members of that forum have decided on and tested the build quality. So it should be a really nice torch in a budget category. I believe I'm paying somewhere around $30 as I'm on a group buy on that forum, so I'd expect it to go on sale for not a lot more later on to general public, and I think that's on Banggood, but it'll probably be available on other resellers anyway. And another one is the BLF GT, which is a huge torch, which is a thrower. So this is a convoy. It's got the large XHP 70 LED in it. This is a real lumen monster of a torch for a budget price. Great thing. You've probably seen it in a video before. And this is going to be an absolute baby compared to the GT thrower. So here's sort of an EDC torch. This is the Astrolux S41. The convoy, as you can see, is massive compared to it, and there's almost going to be a jump that big up to the GT. It is a budget torch still for what it does, but it's going to be over $100 probably. Again, I'm on a group buy, so I'm paying 111, I think. General public probably going to be able to get it for about 150. I don't know if it'd be future promotions or bring it back down. But anyway, so as of this time, those two torches are ones to look out for, and the problem I've got is they're both hungry for batteries, so I need 8 for the GT and 4 in the Q8. I need to sort my batteries out, and I have commented on a few forum posts on other forums, because the guys on the budget light forum are obviously very clued up on batteries, but some other forums I go on that are not related to that kind of thing, you know, they want to know about 18650s, maybe they've not even seen one properly. So this is hopefully going to show that and just explain what they are and what chargers you'll need. Now lithiums, obviously these are AAs in this PowerX, or such a Yamaha charger. These are rechargeable AAs that you've seen everywhere, and the Eneloops are the ones to have of those. Nice and simple, and you can get some reasonable torches like this M2 from Jacksman. It takes 2 AAs. It's a nice little torch. It's just got 2 modes, low and high. And you know, this is a real, if you've not used any torch before, this is a real upgrade to sort of a little Maglite Solitaire or something like that, or a little 2 AA Maglite. This is a really nice torch. Cheap. I bought it off AliExpress, Jacksman sale on there, and they're a good Chinese budget brand, nicely finished, and I've had no problems with it. It works properly. But you're never going to get the power of these 18650s. They're in laptop. You probably already own them because they're inside laptops. They're inside electric shavers now. They're in power tools. So like my Bosch drill battery, that's 18650s in there. If you look at how it's constructed, you can see that's 3 batteries in there. So these batteries, these lithiums, are actually one of the most common batteries in the world, but a lot of people haven't used them like they would an AA. Okay, so the name's because they are roughly 65mm long and 18mm in diameter, and the 0 indicates that they're a cylindrical battery, so that's what it is. These are the Panasonics, made in Japan. These are a fab battery for torches. They're not for the highest current, real strong torches, but they do have a lot of capacity. So these are about 3.5 amp hour, 3,000, probably 3,400 milliamp hour actually. So they last ages, and they work best in EDC torches. Samsung do their own, LG do them. I'd stick to the brands, so I have in the past bought off brands. Generally anything with fire in the name, avoid. Here I've got the SoShine, and these have actually tested fine. These are probably a rewrap of a known brand, but nowadays this is one of the ones I bought when I first got into these. I think that was probably a Sanyo cell now, which is fine, and Senibor, which again is a reasonable make actually. It's generally brand cells, and they've been rewrapped and they put a protection circuit in them. The protection circuit is a nice backup, but I don't buy them anymore with protection circuits on. I did originally. I thought it was probably safer, but the key to it is to actually use decent chargers, quality chargers, and decent torches. So nearly all the torches, you need to look at the reviews, but nearly all the torches will automatically cut out when they get down to 3 volts, which is the safe minimum voltage of an 18650 generally. They can go a little bit lower, but if you stay above 3 volts and charge up to 4.2, that's the window that these cells operate at, then you're in a safe area. And you'll see when you buy them, you'll see them described as different voltages. So here on the Keep Power, this is a bigger battery actually. You'll be able to tell by the number if you remember how I told you before. So this is a 26650. So it's 650 or 65 mil long, and 26 diameter. You'll see it's the same length, but it's a lot wider. Some torches take these, but the 18650s are really where it's at, until the Tesla Star 2700s take over. Yeah, so sorry, why I was showing you that is because it's a 3.7 volts, and that's the nominal voltage of these. So that's where I sit. Generally, when you buy them, they turn up, and if you stick a meter across them, that's where they'll be at 3.7. Now, it really is fairly essential that you get a multimeter if you're going to use lithium batteries. You see, you only need a simple one. This is a very simple meter. Granted, it's a Fluke, which is an expensive quality brand, but any accurate meter is fine. You're only going to be measuring the DC voltage, and you just want to confirm. Really, you want to confirm that your charger is doing the right thing. So when it comes out your torch, if your torch cuts off, so you want to confirm that to the display on there. This is a rubbish charger. I don't recommend it, in my opinion. And you want to just check you're not going below 3. If you go below 3, be warned. If you go below 2.5, you're probably going to have to recycle the cells, dispose of them. But don't put them in your trash. If they short out, they'll probably set your bin on fire. So they do need to be disposed of in a recycling bin. In England, we do get them in certain centres where you can recycle the cells. They're not for kids to play with. These torches, particularly my favourite EDC torch, which is this BLF. I think this is that's not marked. I think this was the A6. You can see the state of it. I mean, it's bad. But on high, this thing pumps out probably 1,000 lumens, like really 1,000 lumens. It gets hot, too hot to even hold, and if left, the battery could run away, self-destruct, or it could probably set fire to something just on its own, especially on a freshly charged cell. So you do need to be wary of them. Make sure you charge them properly with a decent charger. yeah, just monitor their use at all times. Here we have some chargers. I've got more, but I can't find them all. And you'll probably think I'm a little crazy. But I've got in here in a little. This is several bags wrapped. There's a WP2, which is an Xtar, the one before that version there, the VP one, which is a fab little charger. This is just a pack I keep stashed away in a Mylar electrostatic bag, and I keep that in just in a metal case, tucked away. You can probably guess why, but you probably think I'm nuts. But I figure it doesn't hurt, so I have tucked that away. The VC4 is one of the newer Xtars. It's okay. I would avoid it. What I would say is you're better off getting probably the VP1 would be my recommendation to most people. I hate the display on the VC4. It's powered by, this is actually powered by a USB, so I've got it plugged into that at the minute, and it's really picky on USB, so this one's actually a cheap Chinese one which gives out 5.5 volts rather than the standard 5, and the Xtar is really picky. If you don't use a really good charger, it drops out and won't charge your cells very fast at all. The current you'll see in the middle there comes way down. So at initial glance this looks nice. It can do 4 cells at once. It's capable of an amp. You got voltage, you see milliamp. It should be the charger to have, but it's just not. It's so finicky on the input voltage. The cable supplied broke after a week's use. The display's actually, because you've just got this dial, is not, I'm not going to say it's not accurate, but the resolution isn't there for you to see, so it's not at a glance. So that's probably 3.9, and that's probably a bang on 4, but you're not seeing it the same as you do on the VP1. And it will only go to 1 amp if you've only got 2 cells in it. If you put 4 in it, it will only do half an amp, so that significantly slows down your charging. And if you're using 18650s, nearly all of them, you're absolutely fine to charge it at an amp. Personally, I charge a lot at 2 amps, which sorry about the seat, which does shorten their life slightly, but I can put up with that there, and maybe 3 or 4 quid a cell. So, and they probably still do 1,000 cycles. So let's get this one out of the way. Sorry, this is the Maha, and it only does AA batteries, or AAA batteries, nickel metal hydride style, the traditional everyday ones. If you're going to buy an AA charger, buy this one. It's brilliant. It is expensive, so the Maha MHC 9000 Wizard 1 charger analyzer. You can discharge and recharge and recover batteries, AA batteries. That doesn't work on lithiums, but it works really well on this. This thing is, I wish they made a lithium ion charger as good a quality as this. It is brilliant, but they don't, so you're stuck. Personally, I've avoided Nightcore. I did have a Nightcore somewhere, I don't know what I've done with it. They're a fairly good brand and a lot of people swear by them. A lot of people have several Nightcores. They're very common. To me they are probably equally Xtar, but my preference is the Xtars. Despite Xtar seemingly have gone off course, I prefer their older models. And the WP, I'll try and put a picture in. I took a picture back along with all my chargers there, I think, that I had at the time. So the WP is really basic, 2 slots with 2 LEDs, no display, just it goes red when you put the battery in and it goes green when it's finished charging, you take it out. But it is flawless. It's worked every single time I've used it. It always terminates, charges just fine. Great charger, and that's what started with the Xtar. It was universally praised on BLF, I believe. You won't find many people that say it was a bad charger. It's just they've progressed and now you can get displays. Xtar then went on to displaying the voltage like that, and that's really good. Perfect. It's a nice addition. It's swapped in the LEDs, and you can see the voltage, which is great. So you know 4.2, it's just finishing the charge there. This one's actually finished. It just flashes for ages at 4.2, just topping off the end of the battery, because that's how lithium works. It'll gradually climb from 3 volts up to 4.2, but as it gets higher it slows down, and at the end just low currents going through, and it'll just stay at 4.2. But this is foolproof. For 18650s you do have to be aware that other sizes can cause issues, but just with 18650s this thing is perfect. I'd rather have 2 of these than one of the VC4s for sure. It's simplicity itself, so there's nothing to do. There's nothing, you got 12 volt 1 amp input just on a standard barrel connector, so it's really easy to get replacements. You can get better cables. You can get it plugged straight into a cigarette lighter on a car. It's just excellent. On the back, I don't know if you'll see that, it says 12 volt 1 amp in, output 4.2, 2 times 1 amp, 2 times 0.5, or 2 times 0.25. You don't really need the 0.25 for 18650s. I would just avoid it. I think that's what it starts on. All you do is press the button and it'll go to half an amp, and then it goes to an amp, and then it goes back to 0.25. If you're happy to wait, stick it on 0.5 amps. Job done, that's it. You just leave it. You just pop the batteries in and leave it. So that's what happens when you take them out. You pop it in, it'll start charging. I left it at 0.5 amps. If you need it done quicker, stick it in amp. That's fine for nearly all 18650s. Job done. It really is that simple, and this thing just works. That is it. So that's why I love the Xtar. Xtar then went on to make the SV2, and it has a nickname called the Rocket, and it's known as the Rocket because this one, the benefit of this one, again this video is really great in 650s, but it will do a pair of 650s, which is ideal for me because VL2 takes those batteries and a few other torches I've got. And it's called the Rocket because it does 1 amp and 2 amp charging. So that one, we go from 0.5, 1 amp, 2 amp. Strange, I think this, you hold it down, and then you hold it down, it turns the display off. There is a way, yeah, double click gives you 0.25 amps, but that setting is not really relevant for 18650s. It's actually for the much smaller. You can get very tiny lithium ion cells. I avoid them, so I have got some, but I generally don't use them. Stick with the 18650s, trust me. That's for charging those safely. So the 2 amp works absolutely fine, especially on the high current. So the Samsung 30Qs, some of the LG HE2, HE4s, I think they are. They will take 2 amps, no problem at all. The Panasonics will, but they're better just charged at an amp. So what have I got in there? Oh, I got an Army Tech. This one actually came free with an Army Tech torch. That is a high discharge. So without this one, let's see, it's actually advertised without protection PCB. Possibility to work under heavy load. Safety from thermal cut off. This is almost certainly a premium brand rewrapped, and it's capable of high current discharge. They don't use protection on their cells because there's no need. If you monitor them, use quality torch, it cuts off, use a quality charger. There's no need, in my opinion, for protection cells. And the issue they can give, so a couple of issues, it makes them longer, in some cases significantly longer. So some torches and chargers won't accept them, and also the wrapper can damage quite easily because get a clear wrapped one. This is a clear wrapped version. See, it's already damaged there. So the wrapping that they put on over the top damages easier in a lot of cases, but also it has to have a metal strip so that the protection circuit can see the voltage across the battery, and this metal strip runs the entire length. and obviously there's ridges there. It's easily nicked, and that can be a cause of failure of the battery. I personally avoid protection circuits nowadays. I did start off using them, but obviously nearer of my ways. So yeah, I go back to it. You can. It's hundreds of chargers. This one's quite nice. This is the Xtar single 1 amp, and it's the MC1 Plus. Great little thing. Just runs off a USB, but it hasn't got the issues of that where it's not so sensitive. You can plug this into your car. If you've got USB, a cigarette adapter in there, plug it into that. You plug it into your phone charger. You can plug it into the sockets that have got them built in now. Plug it into a power bank. That works great. And you just pop it in, and this is that's a fully charged cell, but that goes red when it's charging. I think green when it's done. Let's stick in. The trouble is I keep a lot of my cells fully charged. Yeah, that's it. Not sure that takes a 2.6. Yeah, it does. Oh, there we go. So that was charging. It does, and this little one takes a 2.6 650. So that's a really nice little charger, cheap as chips, but no voltage measurement. Again, even with the voltage measurement, I double check with a meter. Much better. That thing is crap. Even with that, it's an AA anyway. It only does AAs. It's supposed to be a replacement for the Maha or a competitor. It is crap. Horrible thing. And this is the Miller. I think this was called the Miller ML102. Just really the same as the MC1 Plus, but you can put a cell on it. You can actually use the USB at the top as an output. It'll work as a power bank, and you can just swap cells when they run down, and then you can charge it through there. These actually work quite well, but there's lots of variations. They've done revision after revision on these, so you need to look at the reviews. What I will say is, if you're going to consider any others, look at the reviews. And really, 25-minute video. I don't know how this will edit down. It just comes down to the fact to buy the Xtar. If you're going to run normal cells where you want long run times, get the Panasonic NCRs. If you need to run a powerful torch, then I would personally go for the Samsung 30Qs. I'm not sure where mine are. They're in one of my torches somewhere. The LGs are pretty good as well. So this one is a Focus. It's an HE2 LG HE2. You'll see it on the description on Banggood or Ali or Gearbest or any of them. And that one is it's probably got less capacity than the Panasonic at normal levels, but when it's loaded up in a high drain torch, where you've got 1,000 lumens pumping out of a single cell, it can supply the current for longer. It maintains its voltage over the discharge a bit longer, and the current kings of that are probably the Samsung 30Qs. There is slightly better. The Sonys, I think, might beat them, but they generally come at a bit of a premium to the Samsungs. The Samsungs are really, really well priced for the performance you get for the high discharge. The Samsungs I've got there are slightly different. So those are the 26Fs. You want the 30Q. That is the model to have. I think they do come in this sort of purple lilac-y wrapper. I can't think of anything I've missed. Again, vapor. People who vape will need the high discharges, and that's a good resource for batteries. Look into their forums. They've got a tester. I think a guy called Mooch tests a lot of batteries. Probably does charge reviews. Or on Budget Light forum there is JK possibly. Either way, try looking up either of them. It's similar to that. Certainly starts with H and it's 3 letters, and he does charger reviews, really comprehensive. He takes measurements on a scope and records them. He thermal images them, and he tests them in various scenarios. He's quite conservative with ratings, so often he'll say it's a fair charger when it's perfectly acceptable. He very rarely calls something very good or excellent. But I'm pretty sure he's reviewed the VP1 and gives it a very good rating. Again, he's part of the reason why I haven't really invested any more in night cores. He's had a few issues on them. Those would be my recommendations if you're looking at getting into using 18650s and the torches that run them. It's definitely worth it. These things are absolute powerhouses. That BLF, the new BLF one's coming out, is gonna shine for probably 2 kilometers. That's gonna be, and it's not a crap rating like you get on a B&Q million candle power torch where it says that down the side, this big plastic torch. And these little ones give a genuine 1000 lumen, so they are absolutely worth it. This thing can nearly replace a headlight on a car, just this one little thing. You could shine it out the window, and it wouldn't quite be that, but you could get down a lane in an emergency. So it's absolutely worth looking into and investing in my opinion. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching.